Hey everybody, this is Sky, and when I want to know what's going on in the wonderful world of sports, I tune to Sports World Radio.
Hey, this is EAJ Man from Autopsy Live and the Skype Pirates. When I want to make it look like I don't give a shit about sports, I tune into Sports World Radio with Jeff Escow.
Jeff
Doing my time. Doing my time. Got myself a problem.
from San Diego. It's Sports World Radio. You've never heard a sports show like this. Oh, no, you haven't.
Oh, blow me.
You got it.
Holy fucking shit.
What in the hell is your major malfunction?
Can't believe that goddamn son of a bitch did that fucking crap.
Don't give me any of your shit.
Right?
Yeah, that's right. Those are your hosts, Jeff Askow and Sean Mann. Remember, those who can't play sports, talk about it. These two tell it like it is. Tune into Sports World Radio for the fastest hour of sports of your life. So here they are, the douchebags of sports themselves, Jeff Askow and Sean Mann.
Hey, welcome to Sports World Radio. I'm the host, Jeff Askow. How's everything going? We got a jam-packed, I seem to say that every freaking show we got a jam-packed show, but we do. We got a lot to get to today, unfortunately. Well, fortunately, however you want to see it. Second hour of the show, we got the big wind coming in, Frank Sprankle, so get your coats and get your gear ready for the big wind in the second hour of the show. Before we bring in the co-host, let's get all the particulars out of the way. You're listening to Sports World Radio on SportsWorldRadio.com. If you're listening to us on SportsWorldRadio.com, or even if you're not listening to us on SportsWorldRadio.com, there's two things I want you to do. If you're not there, go there. If you are there, cool. Head on over to SportsWorldRadio.com. On the right-hand side, you'll see something that says Join Our Mailing List. Please join our mailing list. You get all the heads up for all the goodies and what's coming down the pike with Sports World Radio. And while you're over there, at the top of the page, there's a donate button. Click the donate button and donate to the cause for Sports World Radio so we get some new equipment for the gang and all that good stuff. I'm using some old equipment. It's time to re-up. So donate to Sports World Radio and keep on letting us do what we keep doing here at Sports World Radio. 619-663-3715. 663-3715 is the number here at Sports World Radio to get in touch with the show. Facebook page is facebook.com/SportsWorldRadio. That's facebook.com/SportsWorldRadio. Head on over to Twitter and follow us on Twitter as well at twitter.com/SportsWorldRadio. Twitter.com/SportsWorldRadio. SWR show@gmail.com. That's swrshow@gmail.com is the email address here at Sports World Radio. Now with all the particulars out of the way, what do you say, hey? We bring in our co-host, Sean Mann, the update man. What's going on there, buddy?
I'm doing good, Jeff, and welcome everybody to Thursday, December 4th, 2014.
Wow.
6:06 p.m. on the East Coast, 3:06 p.m. on the West. Very cold, snowy, and rainy here, and that's what I get for living where I live.
Snow?
Yeah, it's snowing.
Cold?
Cold, yep.
Rainy?
Yeah, got a freezing rain for tonight.
You screwed.
What do you expect? It's the end of the season when Christmas comes.
That's what you get for living where you live. Go ahead, ask me what it's like down here. Come on.
Let me guess. I'm going to say it's sunny in San Diego, 78 degrees, and you couldn't ask for anything better than that.
I don't need to say anything more then, do I?
No.
Because that's exactly what's going on here in beautiful sunny San Diego. Gorgeous today, man.
Myth is getting on me
Absolutely
about,
gorgeous.
yes, Myth, I lost a bet. And Myth, I have to tell you, I have one more day to look at this junk, and then I can finally take it off after the show gets over with tomorrow.
Thank God, because I'm getting sick and tired of looking at this damn freaking Chicago Bulls thing on my freaking Skype, man. I really am. I'm getting annoyed with it. Next time, don't include your Skype on for the show. Okay?
Hey, at least I'm a man of my word for my bets. Yes.
Just next time don't include it into the freaking show Skype. Your personal Skype, yes, not for the show. I don't want to.
Well,
have to look
remember,
at that
Jeff,
crap.
you're going to lose the bet a week from tomorrow between the Celtics and the Knicks.
I ain't
so,
losing
you know.
nothing. I ain't losing nothing. Your wall's going to be blank, man. I told Sean if the Knicks lose, I'm going on vacation for 2 weeks.
Josh says, nope, Jeff. Skype counts as well.
Okay, I'm going to tell you something, Josh. Skype counts when he's talking to you. It don't count when he's talking to me. Especially when, okay, you know what? Let me rephrase that, Josh. It counts 23 hours of the day, 5 days a week, except for the 2 hours that he talks to me on Skype because I have to look at that crap. You don't talk to him 2 hours every freaking day like I do on Skype. You don't have to look at it. I have to look at it. So in other words, you're forcing me to look at that crap. That's not right. Jeff, you might want the Knicks to lose so you can have 2 weeks of vacation. You might not be so wrong there, Dr. Myth. Come on over and hang out in our chat room over at Spreaker.com. That's Spreaker.com. If you don't have an account, it's free. Get yourself a free account at Spreaker.com. Type in Sports World Radio. Click it on. At the bottom of the page, click play. Or if you're already listening to us on Sports World Radio, you can hear me. You don't have to click play. Just slide all the way over to the right. Click the bubble. Chat room will open up. Start chatting away. Right, Sean?
Josh goes, how about the new bet, Sean? LOL.
What, you got a new bet with the son of a bitch now?
Well, he was wondering if I should. We were talking about this on a conference call for Skype. We were talking about NFL games. And he was saying, well, why don't you bet with Jeff between the Patriots and the Chargers on Sunday Night Football on NBC?
So, in other words, when you sent me that Facebook message, say, hey, you want to have a bet between the Chargers and the Patriots? That wasn't your idea? It was the producer and program director of the show's idea?
Yeah, he thought of it. Yep.
You know something? I'm starting to dislike that son of a bitch. You know why? He's pushing buttons. He's a button pusher. That's what he is.
He's only happy because he won the Black Friday bet because he said to me, this is the most beautiful thing. This is my best Black Friday ever. You wish.
You know what Josh Lopez, producer and program director of the show, is? You know what he is?
What is he?
He's a button pusher.
So is Myth. He can be a button pusher too.
He's a button pusher. You know why? Because he gave you the idea of placing the bet that you couldn't even think of all by yourself.
I couldn't even think of it.
And number two, he comes up with the Skippy stuff every freaking day.
He says, hey, man, it's fair.
To who? You?
He's probably saying to him or probably saying, hey, Jeff, it's fair. You got an advantage over Sean. You can beat, and then 2 weeks we don't have to look at his Patriots gear for 2 weeks.
Who's a fair to? You?
It's between the two teams that both the host and co-host supports. That's what Josh says.
Okay, well, I don't support the Chargers as much as I do the Giants.
That's true. So I would say that Jeff wouldn't want to bet this game. You would.
Only
would be if it was the Patriots and the Giants.
Sean, you know me long enough. You've been with me for 6 years. Which team do I support more?
The New York Football Giants.
There it is. But you know what? Because I do live in San Diego, and because it is the Chargers and they are, doing okay, I'm going to take that bet.
What? You're going to take the bet against me between the Patriots and the Chargers?
I told you on hold while we were waiting to come on the air that I wasn't going to do it, right?
Yeah.
Well, I kind of changed my mind because I want to piss Joss off. That's
so
why.
How does this go, though? Because I could lose 2 bets to you, Jeff.
Damn.
I could lose Sundays and I could lose Fridays
How
to you.
great. You know what? That's going to be a great Christmas present for me. I'm going to have a great year. Great, not a great year, a great December. You're going to lose Sunday. You're going to lose on the 12th.
Oh, my God.
Adrian's going to shave his head. It's going to be a beautiful month of December for me.
Adrian will shave his head, and then I will be putting Patriots stuff away and putting my Patriots gear away for 2 weeks. Is that right?
You're going to be putting your Patriots gear away. You're going to be putting your Boston Bruins gear away. You're going to be putting your Celtics. You're going to have nothing on your wall.
Except
nothing.
Red Sox and John F. Kennedy stuff.
Nothing. You know what, Josh? We should bet him where his wall is totally blank. Nothing on it.
What? You mean to tell me that includes
you
my
know
Kennedy
something,
stuff
Sean?
and
If
my
I'm
Red Sox
okay,
stuff, Jeff?
Sean, if I'm betting on the Chargers, a team that I don't support as much as I do the Giants.
Mm-hmm.
Patriots stuff is coming off the wall, and your Red Sox stuff is coming off the wall.
And what about my Kennedy stuff? Can I
Well,
leave that stuff up on my wall, or do I have to take that down?
All sports stuff off. You can leave your Kennedy stuff.
Deal! I'll take that bet, Jeff, and we'll just see who will come out on top. And you know what? What happens when I win the bet against you?
I go on 2 weeks vacation.
You mean no more Sports World Radio until after Christmas?
I go on a 2-week vacation. How about that?
Oh my gosh! And then Jeff has to, because Jeff doesn't want to look at New England Patriots or
I don't
Celtics
wanna
here for
look at
2
no-
whole weeks.
And on your Skype, I want to see a Knicks Chargers picture.
A Knicks and a Chargers picture.
Yeah. I want to see Knicks Chargers picture for the rest of the December.
All right, we have a deal, Jeff. We'll see what happens on Sunday night, and you better hope to God that the Patriots lose, because if that doesn't happen, I know how you are about the if theory. It's going to be a long 2 weeks for you, and Josh, it's going to be a long 1 week for you when the Bruins beat the Hawks.
Look at Josh.
Yeah.
Look at Josh. You already had a vacation, you rat bastard. Don't pull a snowman now. Well, you really are ripping that son of a bitch good, aren't you?
Myth goes, Sean, you are in what we call a win-win situation kind of bet. Hey, thank you, Myth. Yes.
Why do you say that, Dr. Myth?
Because he knows the Patriots are on fire. He knows the
they're on
Patriots can go
fire.
into
They
San
just
Diego
lost.
and win.
They're going to lose another game, which is going to be 2 in a row. Hey, you know what? We're going to run to a quick break. Maybe we'll get to some sports talk when we come back. You're listening to Jeff Escow, Sean Mann on
Sports World Radio.
This message brought to you by FEMA. Stay fire safe this winter. Turn portable heaters off when you go to bed or leave the room. Keep anything that can burn at least 3 feet away. Plug portable heaters directly into wall outlets. Inspect and replace damaged cords, broken outlets, or loose connections. Use portable heaters with an automatic shutoff so that if they tip over, they turn off. Only use portable heaters approved by a recognized testing laboratory. Learn more at www.usfa.fema.gov.
Did you know that just 30 minutes a day of physical activity can improve your health and decrease your risk of heart disease? For every hour of regular, vigorous exercise, you gain 2 hours of life expectancy. So start walking for yourself and for your heart. Start walking with your family. You'll feel better. Start walking in your community. You'll lead happier and healthier lives. Start walking. Start something. Join the movement today. For more information on the American Heart Association's START program, visit startwalkingnow.org and start walking. Start something.
This message brought to you by FEMA. Be fire safe during the holidays. Only use decorations that are non-flammable or flame retardant. Check holiday lights each year for frayed wires or excessive wear. And do not link more than 3 strands. Never leave a burning candle unattended. Consider using battery-operated flameless candles which look and smell like real candles. If your celebration includes a natural tree, keep it away from any heat source or exit. Water your tree daily to keep it from becoming dry. Learn more at usfa.fema.gov. This message brought to you by FEMA. Home fires occur most often in winter. Keep anything that can catch fire at least 3 feet from heating equipment. And never use an oven to heat your home. Stay in the kitchen when frying, grilling, or broiling food. Turn space heaters off when you leave the room or go to bed. Make sure all vents are clear of snow and ice to allow carbon monoxide to vent outside. Have your furnace, heating system, and chimneys serviced each year by a qualified professional. Learn more at www.usfa.fema.gov.
Hey everybody, this is Sky. And when I want to know what's going on in the wonderful world of sports, I tune to Sports World Radio.
Welcome back to Sports World Radio. You can be all lonely with Sports World Radio here with Jeff Escow, Sean Mann, doing our thing every Monday through Friday, 6 o'clock on the East, 3 o'clock on the West. You got me all screwed up, Sean. 6 o'clock on the East, 3 o'clock on the West. Sean, if you live in the mountain,
who knows? Who cares?
I wanted to throw you a little loop. You threw me for. We were at break, and Sean's like, if I lose everything, it would be all lonely. You're going to be nothing. Oh, you're all lonely. You're going to be nothing on the wall. Oh, you're going to be all lonely. Oh, poor baby.
Yeah, at least I'll be willing to own up to my bet.
You're losing, dude. You're going to have a blank wall. You know, when was the last time you had a blank wall? When you were a little kid?
When I was younger, and of course I did a lot of the shopping to build that Boston Shrine.
A lot of shopping to build that Boston Shrine. You're spending way too much money on that crap.
That stuff is classic. It's tradition. I enjoy looking at it every day. But then, now, all of a sudden, Jeff will be happy because there's going to be nothing but a blank wall. And I'm pretty sure eventually he wants a whole video on Facebook.
I want a video of you taking down everything. And then I want a video of the wall with your stuff. And I want a video of you taking down all your stuff one by one. And then I want the video completely ending with nothing but a blank wall.
That's a long 2 weeks for crying out loud, but that's all right. I would be able to handle it. I had to deal with 1 week because I had to look at stupid bull stuff for a whole week.
I'm not going to have nothing to look at. Oh, my God. I'm going to be so upset.
But when Josh and Jeff lose their bets, you know what? I'll send you some sympathy cards or something to help you out.
You're done. You're going to have a blank wall. It's going to be beautiful.
And Jeff, you're for reals? He's really going to take a 2-week vacation when he loses to me on Sunday between the Patriots and the Chargers.
That's right, man. I'm going on vacation. You ain't going to hear me, see me, nothing. I'm going to be dead to all of you people for 2 weeks.
And then I'll just say, Jeff, Josh, when you lose the bets to me, Merry Christmas.
That ain't going to happen. Not going to happen. We're going to keep going for 2 weeks because that's the way we roll here. I'll come up with something. You know I will.
Yeah.
We'll come up with something like.
Well, hey, Dr. Myth,
hey, I got an idea.
How come he always loses to Double-A?
Yeah, that's the only person I ever lose to. I got an idea. How about you host the show for 2 weeks?
Oh, me?
That's what I said.
Oh boy.
If you win, you host the show for 2 weeks.
If I.
That means
all right. I'll just stick to the original.
That means you got to do everything that I do, except run the show. I'll run the board, but you got to bring us back from commercial, all the good stuff. Yeah, everything that I do, and even do all your other duties too. I'm just gonna sit here and laugh at you.
No, I'm not. We're not adding that to the bet. I'll just stick to the original bet.
How about we let you produce the show for 2 weeks, give you a 2-week vacation, and we let Josh play your spot for 2 weeks?
Oh, I get 2 weeks off. I do take a lot of vacations.
Yeah, that's right. No, that won't work because you take too many vacations during the year as it is.
Yeah, well, I got one coming up in a couple months, and then in the spring in like April or May of next year.
Oh, see, look at him. He's already got his vacations planned. If you lose the bet, Jeff, you have to be Skippy for the week? No, that's not going to happen.
Jeff, be Skippy for a week.
I can't be a moron like that. I can't be a schmuck like that. I can't let, no, there's no way.
Well, Myth can't even bet either. He's such a wuss. Yeah, see what happens there, Sean, when you open your big mouth?
Come on.
What do you mean? That's all it is on pictures and profile pictures and me taking stuff down. There's nothing wrong with that.
See, Sean, you opened up your big mouth. You could have had a 2-week vacation, dude.
Well, it's no big deal, Jeff. You're going to lose the bet to me anyway on Sunday, and Josh is going to lose a week from today, and then you're going to lose a week from tomorrow.
Yeah, lots of luck.
And I'm going to win another bet against another friend of mine between the Bruins and the Sharks.
I like that, Dr. Myth. Jeff, you should trademark the name Sean Mann, the Vacation Man.
Myth, you are so bad.
I like that, Dr. Myth.
Gamble.
That's good. That's good, Dr. Myth. I like that.
All right, here we go. Into some sports news.
I do, Josh. I said yesterday that I wanted to do a parody of First Take. I still want to do that. I got to get everybody on the phone, and we got to get that organized, producer, man. Make it happen.
Torrey Hunter, of course, Jeff, this is the big news as we get to our first topic of the day. Your thoughts on Torrey Hunter going back to the Minnesota Twins to sign a 1-year contract?
23 minutes into the show, and we're getting to our first topic of the day?
Yeah, because we were trying to work out all these bets that I'm going to win against you two.
That's a good sports show right there. 23 minutes already into the show, and we're just getting to our first topic. Torrey Hunter going back to Minnesota. Well, I happen to think that he is going to retire a Twin.
Yeah, I believe this is it. I believe he's just saying
He
that
signed a one-year deal, right?
next year is my final year.
He signed a one-year deal, correct?
Yes.
Yeah, I think this is going to be his swan song, and he's going to retire a Twin. Because he was pretty much a Twin his whole career except for, what, 5 years?
Except for 5 years, and then he went to the Detroit Tigers, and he got the Tigers some playoff success by getting them to the ALCS last year, and then, of course, they lost in the American League Divisional Series against the Orioles.
Okay, let me ask you a question.
Mm-hmm.
Cleveland and the Knicks play tonight, but so does Dallas and Chicago in football. Which game you watching?
Tonight, Jeff, I'm going to watch Dallas-Chicago.
Okay, you watch the Dallas-Chicago game so I can ask you questions, and I'm watching the Knicks-Cleveland game.
Yeah.
And you can ask me questions. I'll watch the basketball game, you watch the football game.
Because that way I can keep you updated for tomorrow's show and get you and just tell you what I thought of the game. Because that's as we get to the next topic, that's another big game, and I'm going to hear from Frank's perspective. Tonight, Jeff, this is our first NFL pick'em. I'm going to go with the Bears tonight to beat the Dallas Cowboys.
So am I. I don't even have to think about it. So am I. I wanted to wait till Frank came on because he's going to make his pick live, too, tonight with us. But, yeah, no, I'm picking the Bears. This is where, and I told this to Nicholas yesterday when he was on the show, this is where Cowboys lose all their games. Possibly they can win their last game, possibly be 9-7, but they're going to end up 8-8 again. Watch. And I'm going to laugh the laugh of the laugh. And you know who I'm going to laugh at the most? Skippy Bayless.
And Jerry Jones.
Nope, Skippy Bayless.
Oh.
I'm going to laugh the laugh of the laugh at Skippy Bayless.
Frank, the big wind is here. Stand by. There's a gale force coming through.
Oh, the fat bastard is in the house, huh? Here he comes.
We'll talk about that game, Frank, between the Bears and the Cowboys tonight. But, going back to Torrey Hunter, great career. He's done so much for the Minnesota Twins. He turned that organization around with Ron Gardenhire. Of course, the Twins have a new manager. And here's the news coming out of Tampa Bay. Raul Ibanez has been out. The race down to 2 finalists about who they will decide will be the next manager of the Tampa Bay Rays.
I always liked Torrey Hunter. In fact, I liked him so much, I had him on a lot of my fantasy baseball teams.
Mm-hmm.
Always liked Torrey Hunter. Markakis joining the Braves. That's pretty big, huh?
Yeah.
That's
Nick Markakis, 4-year deal with the Atlanta Braves. That was another big move. I have to tell you, Jeff, with the Orioles losing Nelson Cruz to Seattle because he signed a 4-year deal, and Nick Markakis going to Atlanta for a 4-year deal, the Orioles are in trouble. They lost 2 big bats to their lineup, and I think that's going to sting them.
Well, I don't know. They have whatchamacallit over there now, too, though, don't they? Oh, no,
They have Chris Davis. They have Adam Jones.
Yeah.
They've got Bruce Ken. They still have a lot of young talent. And, of course, the O's were very lucky. They made it to the playoffs this year, in my opinion. O's hadn't made it.
Fine.
Buck Showalter could have been very well out the door.
They're fine. They're absolutely fine.
You think they'll compete next year in the AL East?
Yeah, I don't see them having a problem. They're absolutely fine. Absolutely fine. There was something else I saw in here. Oh, yeah. Hey, Dave Martinez is joining Joe Madden's staff as one of the coaches on the bench.
Dave Martinez and Joe Madden have had a good friendship. They've gotten along very well.
Yeah.
So you knew that Joe Madden was going to say, hey, I'll become manager of the Cubs. Let me bring my entire staff with me to coach the Chicago Cubs team. Joe Madden has even come out, Jeff, and said, I guarantee you next year the Cubs are going to be in the playoffs. We will see.
That's a tough statement to say considering they haven't been in the playoffs in quite a few years, considering they stink.
The last time, if I remember correctly, was the 2008 National League Divisional Series, and I know, Frank, you were very disgusted with that because that was the year the Cubs got swept by the Los Angeles Dodgers.
Chase Headley has a $65 million, a 4-year, $65 million deal on the table and still hasn't signed it yet. How about that? How about that? Is that crazy? 4-year, $65 million deal on the table, and he hasn't signed it yet. What are you waiting for, Christmas? Well, you only got a couple of weeks to wait.
Is that with the Yankees, Jeff?
Yeah. Actually, no. The Giants, the Yankees, Indians, and Marlins all have offered him the same deal. How about that?
And, of course, you knew the Yankees were going to be involved, too, because the Yankees have been realizing that ever since the World Series came to a close, that back on the 29th of October, you knew perfectly well that the Yankees were going to do whatever they could to keep Chase Headley in pinstripes, but there's going to be other teams out there that are going to want to acquire him. John Lester, before we go to update, he's another one that's been making big news for Major League Baseball. A mystery team came out. That would be not the Yankees, but it was the LA Dodgers. The Dodgers are expected to offer Lester a deal. So it comes down to this, Jeff: the Red Sox, the Cubs, the Giants, and the Dodgers. Those are the 4 teams that are interested in John Lester.
Hey, Frank says if the Cubs get to 500 or better in 2015, he'll be happy. That's sad. That's sad. If the Cubbies get to 500, he'll be happy. That's sad, Frank. You know something? That's really sad as a Cubs fan. As somebody who's not a Cubs fan and hears a Cubs fan saying that, that's sad. I'm so sorry to hear you say that.
Frank's probably just saying, I'm just giving you all my perspective on what I'm going to see next year from the Chicago Cubs.
I want you to go be our Chicago Cubs reporter during baseball season. I want you to go get a press pass for Sports World Radio. Go, hurry.
On that note, we have to run to our second commercial break.
You're listening to Jeff Escow Show, man, huh?
Sports World Radio.
We'll be right back.
Welcome to the Man Manual. Man comes with a multifunctional casing known as skin. It is remarkable. Warning, standard body wash can cause damage to man's skin. Maintain it properly with Dove Men Plus Care Body Wash. It cleans man and protects skin from dryness. This will keep man's skin remarkable, even under extreme testing. Dove Men Plus Care Body Wash. Skin care built in. Also, freshen man's exterior with new Aqua Impact Body Wash.
Why does consultant Jerry Howell stay at La Quinta?
Can you come back tomorrow?
Because only with La Quinta can Jerry instant hold the room tonight using just his phone number. And then power down for tomorrow on his pillow top bed. And when Jerry's refreshed, you know what he does?
We need ideas, people. Think.
Synergistic integration.
Genius.
He thinks outside the box.
I'm going for it. No.
La Quinta Inns and Suites take care of you so you can take care of business. Instant hold your next stay on your smartphone at LQ.com.
La Quinta.
Millionaires are being made worldwide, all season long at DraftKings.com. America's favorite one-week fantasy football website. One-week fantasy means no season-long commitments, so you can play whenever you want. You got a player who's hurt? No problem. Injuries won't derail your shot at victory because it's like a new season every week, so you're never stuck with the same players. Pick your team in minutes, and you could be on your way to winning huge cash payoffs. And just this season alone, one lucky listener turned $10 into $5,000, and another turned $2 into $10,000. Plus, we've been crowning new millionaires virtually every week, all season long at DraftKings.com. So you could be next. What are you waiting for? Imagine winning $1 million in one day just for playing fantasy football at DraftKings. Make sure you log on to DraftKings.com right away and use the promo code Spreaker to play for free in the $10 million Fantasy Football World Championships. DraftKings.com. Bigger events, bigger winnings, bigger millionaires. Don't forget to enter Spreaker at DraftKings.com today. You can't win if you don't play. DraftKings.com. DraftKings.com. That's DraftKings.com.
Hey everybody, this is Sky. And when I want to know what's going on in the wonderful world of sports, I tune to Sports World Radio.
All right, welcome back to Sports World Radio. Jeff Escow, Sean Man, bringing you the fastest 2 hours of sports talk each and every Monday through Friday right here on SportsWorldRadio.com. 6 on the East, 3 on the West. If you live in the Central.
Figure it out for yourself, and who really cares?
Okay, so during the break, Sean and I were having a little thought. Or at least I was having a thought, and Sean was like, oh my God, really? And I was like, yeah, let's do it. It was kind of on the, like on the way where Josh came up with the idea of the bet. I'm just going to take it a step further. Okay? I know Josh is really going to like this idea because we're going to get Josh involved if we can. We'll get Frank involved if we can on Sunday. I think it'll be a lot of fun. On Sunday, the Patriots are in town to play the San Diego Chargers. And since the co-host, Sean, is the Patriots fan, and I live here in San Diego and I root for the Chargers, I suggested to Sean, since he's going to be watching the game, and I'm going to be watching the game, maybe we can do a Google Hangout during the game, and people could come and watch Sean and I at our Google Hangout yell and scream at the TV and at each other. We already made the bet, Frank.
Yeah, bet is already made, Frank.
The show started off with making the bet. So next time, don't be late, you rat bastard. So I thought maybe we can get Josh involved. You know, we can get Josh on the Google Hangout with us. We'll get Frank on the Google Hangout with us if he wants. Maybe we'll get Nicholas on the Google Hangout if he wants. All of us being on cam and yelling and screaming at me and Sean while we're watching the game.
I'll have my Patriots gear on. Oh, yeah.
Right.
Frank says I'm in.
You know what? You know what, Sean? You're going to put on your Patriots gear, right? My sister has a Chargers jersey. I'll grab it from my sister. I'll put the Chargers jersey on. I'll grab a Chargers hat. And we'll kick your ass.
There is no way you're going to kick Schmedley. I will not be denied.
Okay, there we go. We're in. Let's do it on Sunday. I think that'll be a lot of fun.
All right, so we got to pick a time. What, 5 p.m. are we meeting or something?
What time
is that what we're going to do?
What time is the game? It's a Sunday night game, right?
What would it be, 5:15, 5:25?
It's the Sunday night game, right?
On NBC.
It's the Sunday night. So not only will you and I, but the world is going to be watching that game. Dude, we're going to have to advertise this like crazy. You know that, right? We're going to have to advertise this like it's going out of style for the next 4 days. Thursday, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday morning. Put it on Facebook. Join us in our hangout. Come and watch Jeff and Sean on cam yell and scream at each other. Yeah. It's going to be a lot of fun. We're going to have to figure it out. I know. I bet you Dr. Myth is even going to be there for that. He's going to get up early just to come and watch you and I yell and scream at each other on TV.
Oh, great. And then you know what the biggest thrill would be? Chargers win. You all watch me put all my stuff off the walls. All of it. Oh, good grief.
I think we should do that, dude. I think that would be awesome.
Does that mean I have to put all my Boston sports gear on hangers? Is that what I have to do too? If I lose this bet?
If you lose this bet on Sunday, there should be nothing on your wall but JFK.
Okay.
I want a blank wall of JFK, and I want a video of you pulling all your stuff off. And
Josh
I want a
goes,
video
all
of
right,
that blank.
bet official. Let's go, Skippy.
Oh, that's right. It's Skippy hour, right?
The Skippy Bayless Bash Hour says the bet is
Frank's
set.
early. Frank's early. He's got to listen to this.
Skippy Bayless is not predicting tonight's game. Actually, Skippy is not picking tonight's game because he doesn't want to jinx the Cowboys.
It's because he's got no faith in they're going to win. That's why. He's got no faith that they're going to win. That's why he's not betting on this or predicting a winner on this game. What a loser.
Skippy Bayless said that even if Dallas lost tonight, they'll win in Philadelphia next weekend.
He's a loser. You know that, don't you?
Yep.
He's not making a prediction in tonight's game. You know why? Because he's afraid.
And then Skippy Bayless said that Charles Barkley is the best NBA analyst out there.
Is he really? What's him and Charles got going on?
Must be maybe they're texting messages by phone or tweeting back and forth.
Him and Charles Barkley have something going on, I'm telling you. I'm telling you, there's something weird going on between those two.
Skippy Bayless said that his favorite NBA show is Inside the NBA.
Why, is he on it?
No, he's not on it. He
I'm
probably says because Charles Barkley is there, and Charles knows how to tell the
I'm
truth
surprised-
inside the NBA.
I'm surprised he didn't say my favorite sports show is First Take.
Eventually, he would probably say that because it's repetitive.
Well, it's
Skippy
him.
Bayless
It's on it.
said that my New England Patriots will beat my San Diego Chargers on Sunday night.
Does that make any sense? Does that make any sense? My New England Patriots will beat my San Diego Padres. Does that make Chargers? Does that make any sense?
No.
Because obviously both of those teams are yours. Here's the better way to say it. For you, Skip, not for me, but for you, Skip. My New England Patriots will beat the San Diego Chargers. You jackass. You can't have it both ways. Both of those teams cannot be yours. And you don't even live on the West Coast, so you don't even get to claim them. So shut the hell up.
Skippy Bayless said that my Boston Red Sox will beat the Seattle Mariners' regular season record of wins.
Moron.
Skippy Bayless said that my New York Knicks are bad as the Philadelphia 76ers.
Well, they got more wins than them, so they're not that bad yet.
Yeah, and the 76ers actually won a game last night and avoided history.
How
but
about
they're still
that?
bad, 1-17.
Yeah, they're not. Yeah, they've won in 17. The Knicks have more than one win.
Mm-hmm.
They got 4. So shut up, Skip.
Skippy Bayless said that my Seattle Seahawks will beat the Philadelphia Eagles on Sunday.
Where's that game? In Philadelphia?
In Philadelphia, Pennsylvania.
I don't know about that, Skip. That's going to be a tough game, Skip. That's an outdoor game. It's going to be cold. It might even be snowy. I don't know about that there, buddy.
Skippy Bayless said that if Tony Romo was on the New York Giants, the Giants would make the playoffs.
If Tony Romo was on the Giants, no, you're wrong about that.
Oh.
You're totally. You know what, Skip? I'm gonna make a statement that's even gonna take it further than that. Okay, even further than that. If Tom Brady, Aaron Rodgers, or even Peyton Manning were the quarterback of the New York Giants, they still be in the same crap they're in right now. You know why? Half their team is hurt, you jackass. Unbelievable. Unstinkunbelievable.
Skippy Bayless said that if Charles Barkley was coach of the New York Knicks, the Knicks would beat the Cavaliers.
I can't wait for them to beat the Cavaliers. Correct me if I'm wrong. The last time the Knicks played the Cavaliers, they beat them.
That's right.
Shut up, freaking Skip. You don't know what you're talking about. They've already beat them. Jackass.
Skippy Bayless said that Jason Garrett will win more championships than Red Auerbach.
You're an idiot, dude. That's a stupid statement. You're an idiot. He can't even win one. He doesn't even have one. Let's get him one first before you start making statements like that. How about that?
Skippy Bayless said that Michael Jordan playing in this era would underachieve.
Bullshit.
How come Jordan never lost an NBA Finals?
He would so overachieve because you can't do today, defensively wise, what you were able to do when Jordan was playing. So he'd be averaging probably 30 points a game, 35 points a game.
Other things that Skippy said on his show today, he said that Tom Coughlin would be a good coach if he was in Dallas, Texas, to be the Cowboys coach.
Oh, come on. They're not getting rid of Coughlin. I'm telling you right now, it's not going to happen. It's not going to happen. If anybody listens to you and does what you say, they'd be going freaking bananas because you change your mind more than like a freaking woman changes her tampon when she's on her period.
Skippy Bayless said that Madison Square Garden is the home of losers now.
It's the home of the Mecca. You know about Madison Square Garden, don't you, Skippy? Right? I can guarantee you every sports fan knows about Madison Square Garden. You know why?
Because it's the most famous arena.
Exactly. So just shut up.
Skippy Bayless said that Jacksonville beating the New York Giants made him happy.
I'm sure it did make you happy. I'm sure it did make you happy. You're an idiot. It doesn't matter whether they lose to them. The season is over anyway. It doesn't matter. All they're doing is waiting for next year. They got hurt players up the yin-yang, man. And they're still trying to figure out a new offense, and they can't do that without their offensive players.
Skippy Bayless said that Joey Crawford is the best NBA referee.
Oh, my God. He's 6,500 years old.
63 years old. He's slow running up and down the court.
Unbelievable. He can't run anymore. He thinks the game is all about him when he's refereeing. Come on, you're an idiot.
Skippy Bayless said that my Boston Bruins are letting him down. Oh, no, really, you think? That's why they got injuries, bozo.
Letting me down. You're not even a hockey fan, you schmuck.
You even know what a penalty is, Skippy?
Ask him if he knows what a penalty box is.
Yeah. Skippy Bayless said that Skip Bayless would own Jerry World.
Skip what?
Skippy Bayless came out today and said that Skip Bayless would own Jerry World.
You must be on your knees an awful lot to say that statement, Skip.
Especially to Jerry Jones.
Exactly.
Skippy Bayless said that Johnny Manziel has more talent than Roger Staubach.
You're an idiot. Okay? You're such a... Right. How do you say something like that when Johnny Manziel hasn't even played a full game in the NFL yet? A full regular season game. How do you say that? Dumbass.
All right, and on that note, I got a little bit more on Skippy Bayless, but we got our first update that we have to get to.
All right, let's get to our first update. This update is brought to you by The Flipper. Hey, ladies, are you tired of your men or your boys leaving the toilet seat up, and then you have to go in there to go to the bathroom only to grab the toilet seat with all the disgusting stuff on it and the germs on it just to put it down so you can go to the toilet, you can go to the bathroom? Well, fret no more, ladies. Head on over to flipperflipper.com and get your flipper today. It attaches to the underside of your toilet seat, and you never, ever have to touch the toilet seat ever again to lift it or lower it. Head on over to flipperflipper.com and get your flipper today. Take it away, Sean Mann, with the first update of the day.
All right, Jeff, thank you very much. 46 minutes after the hour on the 4th of December, 2014, Thursday. In the NBA, here are the games. Cavaliers at Knicks. That game is on TNT, 8 p.m. Eastern Time, which is 5 p.m. Pacific. The other game following the Cavaliers and Knicks on TNT will be the Pelicans at the Warriors, 10:30 p.m. Eastern Time, which is 7:30 p.m. Pacific. One other game in the NBA, Pacers at Trailblazers. In the NHL, 11 games tonight. The Canucks at the Penguins, Capitals at Hurricanes, Sabres at Lightning, Devils at Maple Leafs, Islanders at Senators, Stars at Red Wings, Blue Jackets at Panthers, Blues at Predators, Avalanche at Flames, Kings at Coyotes, and Bruins at Sharks. In the NFL, Thursday night football on the NFL Network. It'll be Bears hosting the Cowboys. That's your update for Sports World Radio on this Thursday, the 4th of December, 2014. This update was brought to you by flipperflipper.com. We'll be right back after this commercial from our sponsors.
I had PTSD. Once I was back from Iraq, I was distant from everybody in my family.
We had a reunion of our unit, and you'd hear these spouses say, "Is your husband doing that? My husband's doing that too. I thought it was just us." And really understanding that, hey, this is a common experience.
I learned more to listen to what he was saying, and that made it easier for me to understand where his pain was coming from.
Warriors should know that resources are available. Learn more at realwarriors.net.
Every parent wants the safest and healthiest products for their family. That's why I created The Honest Company. I was just a concerned mom with a crazy dream. A wish that there was a company that I could rely on that did all of the hard work for me. I'm Jessica Alba, and The Honest Company was my dream.
LegalZoom has helped 1 million businesses successfully get started, including Jessica's. Launch your dream at LegalZoom today. Call us. We're here to help.
Confusion ever someone or have sudden you trouble had speaking, understanding?
Understanding trouble? Have you sudden have or speaking someone ever confusion?
Have you ever had sudden confusion, trouble speaking, or understanding someone?
It could be one of the 5 signs of stroke.
Sudden weakness or numbness of the face, arm, or leg.
Sudden trouble with vision in one or both eyes.
Suddenly having trouble walking or difficulty with balance.
Or a sudden intense headache that comes out of nowhere.
If you or someone you know has any of these symptoms, don't wait. Call 911 immediately. You could make a difference in someone's life, someone you love, maybe even your own.
It's late until, wait, don't too.
Don't wait until it's too late. Time lost is brain lost.
Find out more at powertoendstroke.org. Brought to you by the American Heart Association, American Stroke Association, and the Ad Council.
Hey everybody, this is Sky, and when I want to know what's going on in the wonderful world of sports, I tune to Sports World Radio.
All right, welcome back to Sports World Radio. Jeff Eskow, Sean Mann, bringing you the fastest 2 hours of sports talk right here on SportsWorldRadio.com. All right, Sean, go ahead. More Skippy bashing, I presume.
Skippy Bayless came out today and said that Johnny Manziel is better than Aaron Rodgers.
Yeah, well, he's an idiot. Aaron Rodgers right now is the best quarterback in the NFL.
Because he's saying, why not make Johnny the future for the Browns, because he could come in and do the job.
Well, I know for a fact that he said that there's no way that Johnny Manziel should be put in right now because this is Brian Hoyer's team. I know for a fact he said that because I heard him say it. So he doesn't even want Johnny Manziel playing right now, which I happen to agree with.
Skippy Bayless said this, Jeff, that Bill Parcells should be the general manager of the Dallas Cowboys.
It's not going to happen, and he would never do that because he's not going to work with Jerry Jones again, ever. So
Skippy Bayless said that First Take is the best talk show in the world.
See, I knew he was going to say that. I told you.
And how he says that nobody can challenge him to a sports debate.
I can, and I would love to. The only thing is, you're afraid to.
Skippy Bayless said that the Green Bay Packers are overrated.
I don't think so. I don't think they're overrated at all.
Skippy Bayless, get ready for this, said that Rex Ryan should coach the Cleveland Browns.
I don't think he should coach him. I don't think he should be a coach. I think he should be a defensive coordinator because that's where he's better at.
That's right. He's much more of a defensive coach than he is a head coach.
There's some coaches in the league that think they're head coaches and they're not. They're better off being offensive coordinators or defensive coordinators, not head coaches.
Skippy Bayless said that his dream NBA commentary team, Jim Nantz, Charles Barkley, and Reggie Miller.
Well, you're an idiot because I can't stand the last two.
He probably would say, hey, Mr. Eska, how is that possible? Those two know great sports perspective.
I would rather listen to Marv Albert.
Kenny Albert?
Marv Albert, Jeff Van Gundy, and Mark Jackson.
Kenny Albert would be another one that you could possibly listen to.
No, Marv Albert, Marv Albert, Kevin,
Kenny the Jet Smith?
No, Marv Albert, Jeff Van Gundy, and Mark Jackson. Do you not hear?
Yeah, I heard you.
I like those. That three would be a nice combination, but it's not going to have it because Marv Albert's with Reggie Miller. But I like, Kenny Jack. God, why not? Mark Jackson and Jeff Van Gundy do the games on ESPN with a different guy.
Mike Breen.
Yeah, Mike Breen. I'm not too fond of Mike Breen, but I like listening to Jackson and Van Gundy.
Mama, there goes that man.
I like listening to those two guys.
Skippy Bayless said that he got a kick out of seeing the Knicks lose to the Pacers and the Bulls in the 1990s.
He's an idiot. You know, he does say. I think he just says things. To hear, I think he says things just to hear his own voice.
Hey, Skippy, that was in the 90s. This is the 2000 teens. It's a different era than it was in the 90s, buddy.
Exactly.
God gosh.
I think he says things just to hear his own voice, man. I really do. I really, really do.
Skippy Bayless said that if LeBron was in Utah, the Bulls would not win those two NBA finals in 1997 and
You're an idiot.
1998.
He wasn't freaking even playing in the league then, you jackass. Shut up. If. You know what I think about if? If my mother had balls, she'd be my father. If.
Skippy Bayless said that Michael Irvin is the best wide receiver of all time.
Who?
Michael Irvin.
No, I don't agree with that statement either.
He probably would say, hey, what about the 3 Super Bowls he won? You got to add that to his resume. He was a great receiver.
I don't care. I don't agree with that statement. I don't believe he's the best wide receiver of all time. I could name one that's even better than him.
Well, Skippy came out and said this. He said, hey, Jeff, Skippy said that Dez Bryant is the best receiver in the NFL today.
I don't agree with that either, but that's besides the point.
You know why? Because he's the big Dallas Cowboys fan.
I know. Exactly.
Skippy Bayless said that ESPN gives you the best sports coverage in the world. We are entitled to our own opinions.
Hey, Skippy. How far do you want to bury your nose up their ass?
Skippy Bayless said that Floyd Mayweather versus Pacquiao would be bigger than Frazier versus Ali.
Get the hell out of here, you moron.
Jeff knows more about boxing than he does. He knows that Muhammad Ali was the big thing back
You're
then
an idiot,
growing up.
Dude. You're such an idiot. There's never been a boxing match bigger than that, and there never will be. Done.
Frank, he wants to know, guys, where did Bayless say Johnny Manziel is better than Aaron Rodgers?
Don't ask me. I don't know. I just comment on what I hear.
Because, well, Josh picks up on it, Frank. He picks up on everything that Skippy Bayless says on First Take every day that he speaks.
If he said it, he either said it on Twitter or he said it on First Take. Pay attention. You rat bastard.
I know, Frank. You're just sitting there in your chair just laughing, saying, gosh, what a joke this guy is.
He is. He's a big joke.
Thinking he knows more about sports and thinks that we don't know anything about football or NHL or NBA or whatever.
I want to take him out. And I don't mean out by just beating him with a sports show. I mean take him out where he's dead. Because I don't like him. I don't like him. So I'm going to say something and it's not going to be appropriate and not going to make a lot of people happy, but I'm going to say it anyway. I wish ill will towards that gentleman. How about that? I hope something bad happens to him. You like that?
Yeah, just like it did to Bill Simmons when he got in trouble, and then Stephen A. Smith got suspended for a week, which was back late July and August.
Not even that. Not even that. I hope something really bad happens to him. Okay?
Mm-hmm.
Really bad. You know, because that's what he deserves for spewing out the garbage that he spews out every day.
And thinking nobody can take him on, except Jeff says I can take him on.
I'll take him on anytime, any day he wants. Even on a Sunday. I don't care. Because he's a nobody. He's an easy peon to pick on. Because of the stupid comments he says all the time.
Josh says he said that earlier in the season. I watch a lot of First Take videos on YouTube. Plus, he says a lot of this crap on First Take, Twitter, and Stephen A. Smith radio show on Sirius XM, Mad Dog Sports Radio.
I should get on that shit.
What time is that, Hey, Josh, you know what time that show begins so Jeff can get on there on the Mad Dog Sports Radio? I'd love to hear that on Sirius Satellite Radio.
I want to get on that guy's show. I'll teach him a fring or two.
Yeah.
You know that. Hey, we're going to run to a top of the hour break. On the other side of this break, we're going to bring in our good friend, the Big Wind, Frank Sprankle. Listening to Jeff Escott and Sean Man on
Sports World Radio.
We'll be right back.
Storms move fast, so we use the best technology. That includes Bosch Icon wiper blades.
They're beam blades with memory tension springs and an aerodynamic design,
which means they fit the curve of the windshield. Bosch Icon wiper blades wiped our windshield clean and outlasted any other blade we've used. In my opinion, the Bosch Icon wiper blades are the best blades out there. Bosch Icon wiper blades, how storm chasers clear the way.
Confusion ever someone or have sudden you trouble had speaking, understanding?
Understanding trouble? Have you sudden have or speaking someone ever confusion?
Have you ever had sudden confusion, trouble speaking, or understanding someone?
It could be one of the 5 signs of stroke.
Sudden weakness or numbness of the face, arm, or leg.
Sudden trouble with vision in one or both eyes.
Suddenly having trouble walking or difficulty with balance.
Or a sudden intense headache that comes out of nowhere.
If you or someone you know has any of these symptoms, don't wait. Call 911 immediately. You could make a difference in someone's life, someone you love, maybe even your own.
It's late until, wait, don't too.
Don't wait until it's too late. Time lost is brain lost.
Find out more at powertoendstroke.org. Brought to you by the American Heart Association, American Stroke Association, and the Ad Council.
Hi, I'm Montel Williams. Most of you know me as a talk show host, but I'm also an author, actor, single father of 4, a fitness writer, avid snowboarder, and I'm also a medical marijuana patient. Like many of the million people who are living with multiple sclerosis, I'm in pain every single day. And sometimes my nerves are so raw that if you brushed up against me in an elevator, I'd scream. I can't sleep at night from the pain, and sometimes the spasms in my legs are so intense they will wake me up throughout the night. I've tried the strongest prescription medications available, and I'm going to tell you, they do not work. In fact, they leave me in a stupor, and most of the time, it's impossible to even live your life. Now, I've tried medical marijuana, and I'm going to tell you something, it works. If you'd like more information about medical marijuana, you can contact the Marijuana Policy Project at mpp.org or call 1-877-JOIN-MPP.
Hey everybody, this is Sky, and when I want to know what's going on in the wonderful world of sports, I tune to Sports World Radio.
All right, welcome back to the show. Jeff Escott, Sean Mann, bringing you the fastest 2 hours of sports talk each and every Monday through Friday right here on SportsWorldRadio.com. And now joining us in the second hour of the show, which he does each and every Tuesday and Thursday right here on SportsWorldRadio.com, the Big Win, Frank Sprankle. What's up, buddy?
Okay, now I know you guys have wanted me on for the last hour to discuss my opinion on tonight's Cowboys-Bears game, correct?
Yeah, here's our opening topic, bud. Bears taking on the Cowboys. And real quickly, Frank, the last time these two teams played, Monday Night Football, the Bears beat them.
Sean?
Yep, 45-28. The Bears won that. Yeah, as we talk about this game, they're all talking about the demons of December's past for the Dallas Cowboys as the first game for Dallas starts tonight.
They're going to lose.
Okay. If you take a look at the Chicago Bears,
correct,
this is a team that is playing for pride.
Correct.
They're not going to the playoffs. Let's get that fact straight. However, the Dallas Cowboys, this is a team that remains in playoff contention. But after what we saw a week ago against the Philadelphia Eagles, don't you get the sense that the walls are starting to cave in for the Cowboys as in years past?
Yes. I do.
I could not pick I could not go any other direction. I got to take the Bears tonight.
Well, no kidding. You have to pick the
And
Bears.
this is the Dallas Cowboys, and they're going to find some way to screw it up.
No kidding. You have to take the Bears. I'd be
The
disappointed in you if you didn't.
Dude, I'm taking the Bears not because it's my favorite team, but because the Dallas Cowboys, in the end, gentlemen, are going to find some way to screw themselves out of the playoffs.
Well, look at it this way. This whole month of December, I look at the Cowboys' schedule. They have, of course, we already know, 4 games, but 3 of them on the road. Dallas has not lost a game all year on the road.
So what the hell's that got to do with anything? It's the first time for everything.
Sean, this is December football now.
Yeah. It has
That
to do with the
doesn't matter.
fact
That does not matter at all.
It has to do with the fact that Oakland lost a game all year on the road, and everybody's saying, can this team actually get it done? Can they win in December? Can they win the Final Four just to get into the playoffs? They've been hit with the 8-8 jinx the last 3 years. 4 more losses will be 8-8 or 9-7, which will lead to the direct firing of Jason Garrett. Remember, Jason Garrett has been under fire all year by Jerry Jones because of what has happened the last 3 years, which has ended in misery for Dallas Cowboys and their fans.
Sean, Jeff, listen, I don't believe in any jinxes here. You know what I believe? I believe in the fact that they have played poor football over the last few seasons down the stretch. That's what I believe in.
In December.
Yes, down the stretch in December, which has led to the Week 17. And, all right, is it okay to say that this is a Week 17 one-game playoff for the NFC East? Because that is where the Cowboys have been, the last 3 seasons now. And get this, they have lost in Week 17. They have been denied going to the playoffs by every team in that division. 3 years ago, it was the Giants. 2 years ago, it was the Redskins. Last year, it was the Eagles. Every team at NFC East has denied the Cowboys the division in Week 17.
And it's going to happen again this year.
And don't forget about 2008, Frank. Do you remember that last game of the season? They went to Philadelphia, the Cowboys did. That was with Wade Phillips. Got destroyed 44-6 in Philadelphia. And they had so many turnovers in that game, and that was one of the worst games of Tony Romo's career. And the question is, too, can Romo stay healthy? Remember, his back has been a concern all year, and 2-3 in the last 5 games for the Dallas Cowboys. And it doesn't get any easier, okay? They play the Bears. After that, they go to Philadelphia to play the Eagles on Sunday Night Football, the 14th of December.
That's the game right there. The Eagle game right there is going to decide who wins the NFC East. That second Eagle game.
So there won't be a Week 17 debacle.
Correct.
Yeah.
Well, they play Washington in the last week. In Week 17, they play Washington.
Yeah, but Jeff, that game may not matter. And besides, the Washington Redskins, this is a team that has already had enough turmoil. But the Week 17 game against the Redskins won't make any difference because let's say the Cowboys do lose tonight, and I'm predicting they are going to lose tonight. And then they go into Philadelphia. 2 out of 3 weeks they played the Philadelphia Eagles. They lose to Philadelphia in Lincoln Financial Field.
Correct.
That is going to be the nail of the coffin. And the final 2 weeks of the season, it won't matter for the Dallas Cowboys. As a matter of fact, I'm just curious if Jason Garrett will be fired should the Cowboys lose these next 2 games. I think it will happen.
In Week 16, they play the Colts, don't they?
At home in Dallas.
Not matter.
Okay. So
it may not matter for the Cowboys.
They could lose tomorrow. They could lose today, Week 14. They could lose next week against Philadelphia in Week 15, and they can lose in Week 16 against Indy. And guess what? That Week 16 game, they lose that Week 16 game, they're out of the playoffs. Done.
I think if they lose tonight and if they lose to Philadelphia, they're pretty much out of the playoffs.
I don't know, because if that happens, Philadelphia in Week 16 and 17 might not give a flying fig Newton and might not play everybody and might lose those 2 games. You know what I'm saying?
Right, but I'm a believer that in Week 17 you should play everybody.
Well, not everybody believes that.
I'm Mike Shanahan.
I do and I don't.
I can't remember which year it was, but Mike Shanahan did that when he was with the Denver Broncos.
I do and I don't believe that sometimes.
Okay, and I believe the Broncos that year were one and done in the playoffs. You know what Mike Shanahan said? He never would do that again, and he has never done that since.
Right. I believe it depends on where you're playing and who you are playing. If you're playing...
Okay, so Larry, let me give you an example here.
Okay.
If you take a look at the Broncos' schedule, and the Broncos are going to win that AFC West.
I don't know about that.
The Oakland Raiders at home the final week of the season. So they're looking at probably taking Peyton Manning and everybody else out come halftime, right?
Correct.
Because it's the Oakland Raiders.
Correct. But I don't know. I'm not 100% positive that they're going to win the AFC West.
I think they are.
They're only one game ahead of the Chargers, and they still got a game with them.
Okay, so there is the possibility, would you believe it, that game for the Broncos, Week 17, against the worst team in the NFL, the Oakland Raiders, may actually have meaning.
Correct. And if it does have meaning, you know damn well Peyton's going to play the whole game.
Of course, dude. We're talking about a bye week. We're talking about home field advantage. You better believe he's going to be playing because that's what – it's hard to believe the Broncos are in this position. Let me ask you about the Broncos. Can we look at it as being a potential white flag here as to the Broncos maybe not getting back into the Super Bowl?
I could look at them maybe not even making the playoffs.
Not making it. All right. Then you know what? They didn't make it to the playoffs, much less the Super Bowl. You're talking about, well, are we talking about the biggest storyline in the NFL this year? The Denver Broncos not making it to the playoffs?
Peyton Manning cannot win the big one, can he?
Wait, but you're talking about the big one. You're talking about the postseason.
Frank, I agree with Jeff on this. He can't win the big games. Look at the history for Peyton Manning, even when going back to his days with the Colts. Every time he got them there, Manning choked the big ones. Sure, he has one Super Bowl under his belt, but he still can't get the job done when it matters. Look what happened against Baltimore, and look what happened in the Super Bowl this year. I don't see it happening where the Broncos will even get back to the Super Bowl because he can't get the job done.
You want to know something? I'm surprised.
Talking about,
hold on, Frank.
Will the Broncos be in the playoffs?
I don't know. I'm surprised.
That's a debate.
I'm surprised.
If the Broncos don't make the playoffs, there is some serious turmoil within that Broncos organization.
Of course. There's already turmoil there now. Come on, they almost blew the game against freaking Miami, for Christ's sakes.
Yeah, and they could have blown.
What are they supposed to blow out Miami?
Yes, and they almost got blown out.
And they lost by Miami only lost by 3 points against them. Kansas City, I expected it to be close, but that didn't happen.
Let's say all right, let me ask you this. If the AFC Championship were to go through Denver again, and this year we have a rematch of the AFC Championship from last year, the Patriots and the Broncos, I got to take the Patriots because of that high-flying machine that's clicking at the right time.
Correct.
I don't care if the game is in Denver.
I agree with you.
The goal for the Patriots is this. The goal is
love that.
I know, but the goal for the Patriots is this. They're still in a battle with Denver for the top seed in the AFC. I would like to see New England. I would like to see New England win the remaining 4 games, and I'd like to see Denver lose at least maybe 2 or 3 games just to make sure they'd have breathing room to be able to capture the number 1 seed. But I know that's not going to be easy, especially since Denver wants the very same thing, because that home field advantage is always the key.
Hey, listen.
Okay, but let me ask you this. All right,
Denver's having enough trouble.
We were talking about the Miami game a couple weeks ago. If the Broncos can barely, and I mean barely, beat the Dolphins in a close one, that's the Miami Dolphins.
Hey,
they're not
Denver's
the best team in that division.
Denver's having
How
enough
do you
freaking
think they
trouble.
can handle your favorite team, the New England Patriots. I just don't think they can handle them.
Frank,
Denver, hold on. Hey guys, let me fucking talk for a little bit, huh? Every time I want to say something, both of you are cutting me off. Denver has enough trouble trying to win their own freaking division, let alone trying to be the number 1 team in the AFC. They got to fight with San Diego right now. They're only 1 game ahead of San Diego. Okay? The only thing that Denver's hoping is that New England comes in and beats San Diego. That's the only prayer they have. They still have a game. Denver and San Diego still have a game with each other. If San Diego happens to win that game, and they happen to beat New England this week, Denver has a serious problem even making the playoffs at all. Because if that game comes down to those two and San Diego wins, Denver's not going to make the playoffs.
That's going to be an upset if they do win.
Denver's not going to make the playoffs. I happen to think if Denver does not win the AFC, Denver ain't making the playoffs.
Then you know what? Then all right, let me ask you, what does that mean for John Fox?
Gone.
No, I don't think so. How do you blame that on John Fox?
Well, somebody's got to take the blame.
You know who's going to take the blame, don't you?
Peyton Manning.
Exactly right.
Wait a minute. Peyton Manning can't play all three phases.
No, I agree with you. But who's the defensive coordinator? That's where the blame lies. You know who the defensive coordinator is? He's the old head coach of the freaking Jacksonville Jaguars.
Yeah, Jack Del Rio.
Correct.
Yeah, that's Jack Del Rio.
Their defense is not getting it done, is it?
No, it's not. And hold on. Didn't they bring in DeMarcus Ware and all these other free agents?
If they couldn't stop Miami doing from what they're doing, how the hell are they going to stop anybody else?
They can't still. Listen, if they can't contain Miami, there is no possible way they can contain New England.
Exactly.
And they only beat Miami by 3 points. And I watched the whole game, Frank, and it was an ugly game. And Jeff has a point. Manning can't win the games when it matters. He's not
Okay, but I'm talking about winning the games that it matters. I'm talking about playoff games, guys.
He can't win the playoff games.
That's
Frank,
where he can't win.
Frank, he can't win the playoff games. I've watched him over the years. He chokes.
I agree with you, but I'm talking about what. But Peyton Manning, year in and year out, has won the games in the regular season.
In the regular season, yeah, but the postseason, it's totally different. Remember this before we go to commercial. Peyton Manning can't win playoff games when it's 40 degrees or lower for temperatures. I've seen it happen where he chokes in the postseason over the years of his career.
That's why
And one of those games was in the Super Bowl last year.
And that's why I was kind of shocked he went to Denver.
Yeah.
Where do you think? All right, well, hold on. He could have gone to Arizona.
He should have went to freaking somewhere warm.
That's right.
Because that's going to be a problem for him.
And he only has three.
What was
he
that,
only
Frank?
has 3 years left on a 5-year, $96 million deal. And on that, no, we got to go to commercial.
This year's up, it's only 2 years left, right?
Yeah, that's correct.
And I'll be $15 richer. We'll be right back with Jeff Escal, Showman, and Frank Sprankle on
Sports World Radio.
This message brought to you by FEMA. Stay fire safe this winter. Turn portable heaters off when you go to bed or leave the room. Keep anything that can burn at least 3 feet away. Plug portable heaters directly into wall outlets. Inspect and replace damaged cords, broken outlets, or loose connections. Use portable heaters with an automatic shutoff so that if they tip over, they turn off. Only use portable heaters approved by a recognized testing laboratory. Learn more at www.usfa.fema.gov.
Did you know that just 30 minutes a day of physical activity can improve your health and decrease your risk of heart disease? For every hour of regular, vigorous exercise, you gain 2 hours of life expectancy. So start walking for yourself and for your heart. Start walking with your family. You'll feel better. Start walking in your community. You'll lead happier and healthier lives. Start walking. Start something. Join the movement today. For more information on the American Heart Association's START program, visit startwalkingnow.org and start walking. Start something.
This message brought to you by FEMA. Be fire safe during the holidays. Only use decorations that are non-flammable or flame retardant. Check holiday lights each year for frayed wires or excessive wear, and do not link more than 3 strands. Never leave a burning candle unattended. Consider using battery-operated flameless candles which look and smell like real candles. If your celebration includes a natural tree, keep it away from any heat source or exit. Water your tree daily to keep it from becoming dry. Learn more at usfa.fema.gov. This message brought to you by FEMA. Home fires occur most often in winter. Keep anything that can catch fire at least 3 feet from heating equipment. And never use an oven to heat your home. Stay in the kitchen when frying, grilling, or broiling food. Turn space heaters off when you leave the room or go to bed. Make sure all vents are clear of snow and ice to allow carbon monoxide to vent outside. Have your furnace, heating system, and chimneys serviced each year by a qualified professional. Learn more at www.usfa.fema.gov.
Hey everybody, this is Sky, and when I want to know what's going on in the wonderful world of sports, I tune to Sports World Radio.
It's alright if
Welcome
you
back to
don't.
Sports World Radio. Jeff Escar, Sean Mann, bringing you the fastest 2 hours of sports talk right here on SportsWorldRadio.com. All right, boys, what do you got for me?
All right, the next story we get to, Michael Sam believes he's not on a NFL roster because of the fact he's openly gay, telling TMZ Sports he strongly believes he's got the talent to play in the league. Jeff, Frank, what's your thoughts?
All right. Michael Sam is the one that publicly came out and announced his homosexuality.
Correct.
Correct?
Correct.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Well, having mentioned that, Michael Sam should have realized that if indeed this is true, which I don't think it is, but not for every NFL team. Yeah, I think there are some NFL teams that wouldn't take Michael Sam based on the fact that he's gay. Not all, but some. But if Michael Sam didn't want this to be an issue,
He should have shut up.
He should have shut his mouth up.
That's right. I agree with you. I agree with you.
Okay. By the way, with those comments, before Michael Sam said those comments, and of course he was with the Rams, he was released right before the season began. He was with the Cowboys on their practice squad. He was released. I think there may have been some teams, maybe 6, 7 teams that could have had interest in Sam, but I think that number may be down to 1 or 2 or maybe even 0 because he is being nothing more than a crybaby.
Right.
Sean, actually, Sam was at the LAX this morning when he was asked if he thinks the NFL teams are shying away from him because of what you said, Jeff and Frank, of his sexual orientation, or if it has to do with the level of talent he faced with college. He goes, quote, I think I was the SEC Defensive Player of the Year last year, so I don't think it had to do with talent.
All right, maybe it doesn't have to do with talent, but his combine workout, his pro day wasn't really impressive.
I hate to tell you something, Michael Sam. SEC?
Mm-hmm.
It's college football. It's a different world than the NFL. You don't have
I agree. Absolutely.
And personally, I don't think he has the talent to play in the NFL.
All right,
he
has proved that, hasn't he? Dude, he, outside of sacking Johnny Manziel once, big stinking deal.
He hasn't done anything. Nothing.
Sam says he's still focused on getting back into the league and told us the chances of Oprah ever reviving the reality show that was in the works before the draft are slim to none.
I thought that idea was utterly stupid. Having a reality show deal with Oprah Winfrey. You know what? Okay, can I say this? Michael Sam's a hypocrite. And you know why he's a hypocrite? Because didn't Michael Sam, before it was announced of this reality show with Oprah, didn't he say that he did not want his sexuality to be a big deal?
Yeah, well...
Okay, well, hold on. By doing this reality show with Oprah, that's promoting your lifestyle.
Correct. He's making it a big deal.
Michael Sam's a hypocrite.
Correct.
I'm going to cut right now. Michael Sam, you are a hypocrite.
Correct, because he's the one who's making it a big deal when nobody else is.
And you know what? By those comments that he recently said to TMZ Sports at LAX, by the fact that he believes he's not in the NFL because he's openly gay, I guarantee his chances of making it on an NFL roster have gone down considerably. It's almost 0 now.
I don't think he's going to be an NFL player at all.
Okay, well, Michael Sam maybe should look at, Canada.
Canadian Football League, Frank?
Absolutely. Canadian Football League, yes.
Maybe him and Johnny Manziel can play on a team together.
Oh, could you imagine? ESPN does show Canadian Football League games.
No, maybe him and Johnny Manziel can play in Canada together.
Dude, you know how big that would be for the CFL? Not much Sam, but more Manziel.
Yeah. You bet your sweet petunias.
Another story I got, Jeff and Frank, that you came up with, Frank, and this was a good one. The Cleveland Browns' faith in Brian Hoyer continues, and so does Johnny Manziel's spot on the bench. After 2 days of deliberation, Cleveland will start Hoyer for the 13th straight game Sunday against the Indianapolis Colts. Browns coach Mike Pettine announced Wednesday. Frank and Jeff, I agree with it. Right move to continue to stick with Brian Hoyer over Johnny Manziel.
I'm going to say this, Sean. I agree likewise. However, Sunday's game at home against the Indianapolis Colts is the biggest start of Brian Hoyer's career. Because if Brian Hoyer turns over the football, let's say he turns over the football 3, even 2 times come the end of the first half, I think you see a change with Manziel.
Jeff, what do you think?
Who's Cleveland playing Sunday? Cincinnati?
They're playing Indianapolis.
Colts, Jeff.
They're
playing one of the best in the AFC.
That's it. Hoyer's in a tough spot. Even if what happens if Hoyer doesn't turn the football over at all, and they still lose?
That's not Hoyer. Then you know what? You still stay the course with Hoyer.
Then the panic will start hitting in Cleveland, Ohio, because Cleveland fans have been through a lot of sports misery over the years.
Say Hoyer does not turn the football, doesn't throw an interception, doesn't have a fumble, doesn't turn the football over at all, and they still lose.
That's not Hoyer's fault. Then you know what? You stayed the course with Hoyer. You have to.
I think so.
But let's say the Browns are getting blown out, and Hoyer has turned the ball over 3 times at the end of the first half. I think you make the change with Manziel.
Well, let's say the Browns are getting blown out, and Hoyer still hasn't turned the ball over.
Mm-hmm. It's not Hoyer's fault. Then you stay the course for the second half.
You stay the course?
Stay the course, of course.
Stay the course, of course. What are you, Sam I am?
A horse is a course, a course, a course. Did you ever watch Mr. Red?
Green eyes, green eggs, and ham?
Did you ever watch Mr. Red?
Of course, of horse, of course, of horse.
When you think of this AFC North division, you look where the Cleveland Browns are at right now. They're 7-5. They will need an absolute miracle just to, I would say, not even have a chance to even think about the division. But the Browns need to focus more on getting a wild card spot, Frank. That's the way I look at it. Look at the schedule: Browns, Cincinnati. Go ahead, Jeff. Yeah.
It doesn't matter. I don't think the Browns have a rat chance in all hell's making a freaking wild card team in the NFC East. The NFC East is too. I mean the AFC East. I mean the AFC.
Smart.
The AFC is too freaking strong.
But the AFC North is pretty weak compared to the Patriots in the AFC East, the Colts in the AFC South. If you take a look, whoever wins that division in the AFC North, it's a safe bet to say that representative will not be in the Super Bowl.
Frank, I hate to tell you something, but right now the 2 wild cards are San Diego and Miami.
That's right.
If the playoffs
Did anybody think San Diego and Miami would be the 2 wild cards?
They are. That's how it sits right now. If the playoffs would start today, it would be San Diego and Miami in the wild cards.
And don't rule out still, with a lot of things to change, the Buffalo Bills. The Bills are still in there too. Don't rule them out. They're still 7-5. A lot of things can happen where the Bills could sneak in and take the wild card away from either Miami or San Diego.
You got that whole NFC.
Manziel Hoyer bid in Cleveland. With Brian Hoyer having won the starting job, being a journeyman, being from Cleveland,
right,
having been injured last year, and being Manziel and the character issues that he has, were you guys in a way rooting for Cleveland to win that division? Because I was, based on the fact that Brian Hoyer was the starting quarterback.
Well, I happen to agree 100% with what you said. Johnny Manziel made Brian Hoyer famous.
Oh, that's what I said in August.
Correct.
Yeah, that's right.
That's what I said in training camp. If it wasn't for Johnny Manziel, the name Brian Hoyer would not be a household name among the NFL ranks.
Correct. Nobody would know who the quarterback of Cleveland is if Johnny Manziel wasn't there.
Okay, and you know what? You can have Johnny Manziel. He could have been, a team that doesn't have a good. Johnny Manziel could have been in Oakland, and you would have known the backup.
Correct.
Now, on the other side, if you look at this AFC North, okay, you got Cleveland playing Indianapolis. It's still going to be big because the Browns will be doing some scoreboard watching too, because remember this, the Bengals do play against the Pittsburgh Steelers, and I can't wait for NFL Real Talk, Jeff, because we will be talking about this big matchup in the AFC North between Cincinnati and Pittsburgh. Remember, those two teams twice, first in Cincinnati on Sunday, and then they end the final weekend at Pittsburgh.
I know that game Sunday is going to be awesome. Pittsburgh and Cincinnati. In fact, this whole freaking week, because every team in that AFC North, as far as I'm concerned, is in a must-win situation. Every single one of them.
There's 3 games week 17, and it's starting to shape up that final week of the NFL season is going to be great.
And can you imagine right now you got Miami sitting at 7-5 at one wild card, and San Diego at 8-4 at the other wild card. Meanwhile, the AFC North, Baltimore, Pittsburgh, and Cleveland, all sitting at 7-5, would not make the playoffs. How crazy
and not
is
only
that?
Miami still has to go to New England. I guarantee you, New England's going to win that game, but Miami's not going to go down without a fight.
No, and Miami's already beat New England once this year.
No, I remember
that's
too.
True. But here's the thing: the Patriots have caught all the momentum in the world.
Well, we'll see what happens this Sunday when they play here in San Diego.
It was close against Green Bay on Sunday.
We'll see what happens.
What's your guys' thoughts before we go to that second and final update on the Buffalo Bills? What's your thoughts, Frank? Do you think they have a chance?
No,
They're
I don't think.
7-5 and not out of it.
No, I don't think they're going to.
I think they have a chance. It's going to be interesting to see. But even if they don't make the playoffs, what an accomplishment it has been for the Buffalo Bills to really turn this thing around.
They're playing Denver in Denver this week.
Oh, that's not going to be easy in that altitude.
Well, look at the Miami Dolphins. Hold on.
Well,
yeah, that's true.
Yeah, but that was in Miami, not in Denver.
No, that was in Denver.
Was it in Denver?
Yeah, in Denver.
Oh,
I
I'm
watched the
sorry.
whole game.
Okay, so who knows? And Denver, I happen to think, has got a better quarterback than Miami, but we'll see what happens. You never know. Hey, stranger things have happened. St. Louis beat freaking Denver. Okay?
That's right.
Stranger things. I would love to see Buffalo beat Denver and San Diego win this week.
Because of the bet.
I would love to see that happen. All right, we're going to run to our final update of the day. This update is brought to you by The Flipper. Hey, ladies, are you tired of your men leaving the toilet seat up? And when you have to go to the bathroom, you got to put the toilet seat down to go and actually touch it with your hand? Well, no more. Head on over to flipperflipper.com and grab your flipper today. This way, you'll never, ever have to touch your toilet seat ever again to lift it or lower it. It attaches to the underside of your toilet seat, so you never, ever have to lift it or lower it again. Head on over to flipperflipper.com and get your flipper today. Take it away, Sean Mann, with the final update of the day.
All right, Jeff, thank you very much. And thank you, too, Frank. Here's our final update. In the National Hockey League, here is 11 games that we have for tonight. Games have already started. The Canucks at the Penguins. Right now, Vancouver leads 1-0 against the Penguins. Capitals up 1-0 against the Hurricanes. Other games we got, Sabres at the Lightning, Devils at the Maple Leafs, Islanders at Senators, Stars at the Red Wings, Blue Jackets at Panthers, Blues at Predators, Avalanche at Flames, Kings at Coyotes, and Bruins at Sharks. In the NFL, tonight's game on NFL Network, it will be the Dallas Cowboys visiting the Chicago Bears. Game starts at 8:25 p.m. Eastern Time, which is 5:25 p.m. Pacific Time. NBA, 3 games for tonight, and 2 of them on TNT. 8 p.m. Eastern Time, which is 5 p.m. Pacific, Cavaliers visiting Knicks. Second game on TNT following that, Pelicans visiting Warriors. The other game, Pacers at Trailblazers. That's your final update for Sports World Radio on this Thursday, the 4th of December, 2014. Update was brought to you by flipperflipper.com. Let's run to commercial, and when we come back, more sports talk with Jeff Eskow, Frank Sprankel, and Sean Mann.
Welcome to the Man Manual. Man comes with a multifunctional casing known as skin. It is remarkable. Warning, standard body wash can cause damage to man's skin. Maintain it properly with Dove Men Plus Care Body Wash. It cleans man and protects skin from dryness. This will keep man's skin remarkable, even under extreme testing. Dove Men Plus Care Body Wash. Skin care built in. Also, freshen man's exterior with new Aqua Impact Body Wash.
Why does consultant Jerry Howell stay at La Quinta?
Can you come back tomorrow?
Because only with La Quinta can Jerry instant hold the room tonight using just his phone number. And then power down for tomorrow on his pillow top bed. And when Jerry's refreshed, you know what he does?
We need ideas, people. Think. Synergistic integration. Genius.
He thinks outside the box.
I'm going for it. No.
La Quinta Inns and Suites take care of you so you can take care of business. Instant hold your next stay on your smartphone at LQ.com.
La Quinta.
Hi, I'm Montel Williams. Most of you know me as a talk show host, but I'm also an author, actor, single father of 4, a fitness writer, avid snowboarder, and I'm also a medical marijuana patient. Like many of the million people who are living with multiple sclerosis, I'm in pain every single day. And sometimes my nerves are so raw that if you brushed up against me in an elevator, I'd scream. I can't sleep at night from the pain, and sometimes the spasms in my legs are so intense they will wake me up throughout the night. I've tried the strongest prescription medications available, and I'm going to tell you, they do not work. In fact, they leave me in a stupor, and most of the time, it's impossible to even live your life. Now, I've tried medical marijuana, and I'm going to tell you something, it works. If you'd like more information about medical marijuana, you can contact the Marijuana Policy Project at mpp.org or call 1-877-JOIN-MPP.
Hey everybody, this is Sky, and when I want to know what's going on in the wonderful world of sports, I tune to Sports World Radio.
All right, welcome back to Sports World Radio. Jeff Escal, Sean Mann, and the big win, Frank Sprankle, giving you the best and the fastest 2 hours of sports talk right here on SportsWorldRadio.com. All right, boys, what do you got for me?
All right, the next one I got here, Frank, this was another good one that you sent to Josh that I got. Kobe Bryant is set to pass Michael Jordan on the all-time NBA scoring list in the next week or two. Yes, it has taken him more games, more years, more teams, and more tries than it took Jordan to get there. What's your thoughts?
Let me ask you this. Do people across the country really care, unless you're an NBA fan or a fan of basketball in general?
People were Kobe Bryant fans. Of course they would care. They would say Kobe overtakes MJ for the all-time in NBA. What's your thoughts, Jeff?
I don't really give a flying fig Newton.
See, that's what I'm talking about, Sean. People care about baseball records. Baseball records are hollow. They're historic. People don't care about basketball. They don't care about the fact that Peyton Manning has thrown the most touchdown passes all time. People don't treasure records in basketball, in football, and in hockey like they do in baseball.
I agree with that statement.
Exactly.
That's the point I wanted to bring out. I'll be happy for Kobe when he breaks it, but will this entire country give a beaver's damn?
No.
I don't think so.
Not even the NBA entire country will give a beaver's damn.
The question is, though, Frank, I was reading a little bit more about this when Josh sent this to me. His relationship with Michael Jordan. What's your thoughts about that?
Oh, they have a tremendous relationship, and that's something else I want to talk about, too. Years ago, this must have been 10 years ago, give or take 10 years ago, Michael Jordan was given an interview, and he said, which one player in the NBA reminds you of how you played? And without any hesitation, he said Kobe Bryant. This may have been less than 10 years ago because LeBron James was in the league at the time, but Michael Jordan wasn't hesitant. He said that Kobe Bryant reminded him of how he played the game. And I'll tell you this, I think Michael Jordan probably has more respect for a Kobe Bryant than he does LeBron James.
Josh goes, if you don't like Kobe Bryant, you are fired.
Well, I love Kobe Bryant.
Yeah, I was a Kobe Bryant fan. Now the guy's old. Really, what has he got for you? What has he done for you lately? Nothing. Hey,
this is what is this? His 19th. Actually, this is his 19th season in the NBA.
I remember.
19
Yeah.
seasons with one team, Jeff.
And I remember that, too. He was drafted out of high school in 1996. Yes. He was 17 years old, and that's when he came to the NBA, and people were so impressed, and they thought, Kobe is he's amazing. This guy is going to become something for the Lakers and try to bring another Showtime back to LA.
Well, his career is coming to
and
the
they
end.
did.
Well, his career is coming to the end.
And the Lakers are in a decline because they
stink.
With Byron Scott, with Byron Scott, hold on, Frank. With Byron Scott being the head coach of the Lakers, they're not knowing his offensive system. Unlike Phil Jackson, when he taught the triangle offense when Shaq and Kobe were there.
It doesn't matter. They stink.
Okay, guys, even if 19 seasons with the Lakers aren't going anywhere. Phil Jackson is in New York. Does Kobe Bryant get traded to the Knicks at some point?
No.
Kobe and Nick? I don't see that
No.
happening.
Well,
I really
because
don't.
of Phil Jackson connection.
No, because he's making too much money. No.
All right, let me ask you: does Kobe Bryant get sent to a contending team?
No. Kobe Bryant wouldn't do that to the Lakers.
Kobe
I couldn't see it any other way, guys. Couldn't see it any other way.
Kobe loves L.A. He's done a lot for the city. He's won, 5 NBA championships. He
You're
likes
right.
what he's
5
done
NBA
there.
championships on. Yep.
And remember the relationship he had with Shaquille O'Neal. That was not one of the best relationships they had. Those two didn't get along very well. And I remember there were coaches that wanted to leave the Lakers because they weren't happy with what was going on over there with all the fighting and the clashing that the two had.
Guys, you remember what was happening with Kobe in Colorado? Remember the alleged trial?
July
with the alleged rape allegations?
Yeah, so.
Anyway, I remember Kobe was in Colorado testifying, and then he got on a flight, headed back to Los Angeles. The Lakers were playing at home that night. He gets to the Staples Center. He's sitting on the bench right next to Shaquille O'Neal, and the two are saying nothing, like they don't know the others in existence next to each other.
Well, that's when all that started. So what are you going to do?
I think Shaquille O'Neal enjoyed playing more with Dwayne Wade than he did with Kobe Bryant.
I think so, too. And you got to remember this, too, that that was a debate. Like, whose team was it? Was it Shaq's team or was it Kobe's team? And then you got to remember in 2004 when they lost to Detroit, the breakup of the Lakers immediately happened. Phil Jackson had stepped down. Shaq decided to take his talents to Miami.
This guy loves living in the past.
Gary Payton left. It just, boom, a breakup. And then Kobe re-signed and stayed there. But then it was bad because the Lakers brought in Rudy Tomjanovich, and he didn't do a very good job for them.
Let me ask you guys this. Say what you want about Kobe. Say what you want about Shaq. Say what you want about even the championships in Chicago. Do you get the sense that Phil Jackson has all the power and all the impact? Because let's remember this. Phil Jackson was the one that left the Bulls first right after the sixth and final title in 1998. Remember, of course, you had the lockout shortened season in 1999, and there was some speculation that maybe the cast of characters in a strike shortened or in a lockout shortened season, I should say, would come back for perhaps a fourth straight title run potentially. Well, that all rested in Phil Jackson, but Phil Jackson decided to retire, and sure enough, the dominoes, well, I retired the first time, but sure enough, the dominoes fell. Michael Jordan left, Scottie Pippen left. A great part of the Bulls championship core from the previous 3 titles had left as a result of Phil Jackson stepping down.
Hey, everything can't stay together forever.
That's true.
But if Phil Jackson had stayed for that 1999 season, I guarantee you, Jeff, the rest of the core would, and the Bulls could have won a 4th straight title.
Frank, if my mother had wheels, she would have been a trolley car.
You don't like the word if. All right, let me ask you, do you plan on that? There is a website called What If Sports. Do you ever plan on visiting it?
No, because I didn't use the word if.
All right, so if is not part of your vocabulary.
No, instead of putting the word, don't put the word if in front of what you want to say. Just say it.
Here's the way I look at it. Yes, there was something I watched for a documentary. They said the top 5 reasons you can't blame like Jordan breaking up with the Bulls. They were saying that Bulls would have stayed together. They very well could have won maybe a couple more rings. Remember, Michael Jordan was 35 years old when he retired from the Chicago Bulls. But
right.
Phil Jackson stayed. Everybody else would have stayed. They could have won a couple more rings, but that didn't happen. He left, and then Michael Jordan made the big announcement on September 10th, 2001, that he was coming back to the game because he loves the game and he's doing it for the fans, and he went to the Washington Wizards.
Yeah, but if you look at the Washington Wizards, they did not make the playoffs in those 2 seasons that he was with them. Look at Michael Jordan with the Bulls, Sean. Every single year they were a playoff team.
Every year they were. And even when Jordan left,
they were
after
a playoff team. From his rookie year in 84, 85 to the final championship year of 97 and 98. What did Michael Jordan do in Washington? I'll tell you what Michael Jordan did. He played for the Washington Wizards, but I don't think the desire, the drive was there.
I don't think
That
so
wasn't-
either.
that wasn't
the
the right
Wizards just
team.
didn't have the pieces.
That wasn't the right team. He should have never went to Washington.
But hold on, don't you also think the desire wasn't there because maybe Michael Jordan realized I've won 6 championships. I was part of a great dynasty.
No, the only reason why he went there is because Chris Collins was the head coach.
That's right. Chris Collins and Michael Jordan, they had
No,
the
Doug
connection.
Collins.
They had Doug Collins.
Yeah.
Collins. I'm sorry.
Thanks.
Well, no, you're right. Chris is his son coaching at Northwestern now.
Doug Collins and Michael Jordan, they had a good connection when they were together with the Bulls. But, of course, then Doug Collins was let go, and then Jackson came in 1989, and then he was there from 89 to 1998 with the Chicago Bulls.
Yeah, man, you take a look at Jackson with the Bulls. Boy, you know, Phil Jackson, I got to tell you, where does Phil Jackson store his championship rings? He's got 13 in all. 13!
He probably has a place where he, like a championship room where he puts all his rings and trophies for Phil Jackson.
Where would you store your 13 championship rings?
He says he has them in a drawer.
I would have them behind bulletproof glass.
He has them in a drawer.
I'll take your word for it, Jeff, because you know what? I know you're a big admirer of Phil Jackson, and I am too for obviously him coaching the Bulls. Obviously, he played for the Knicks. You remember that of the early 70s, and hopefully constructing a Knicks team that will win a title or at least be in contention for a title.
Hey, you know something? We're going to come back from break, and when we come back from our final break, I'm going to tell you something that my mom used to tell me all the time about Phil Jackson when he was playing for the Knicks. You're listening to Jeff Scott Showman and Frank Sprankle on
Sports World Radio.
We'll be right back.
Someone I used to see, but she don't give a damn for me. But let me get to the point. Let's roll another joint and turn the radio loud. I'm too alone to be proud, and you don't know how it feels. You don't know how it feels to be me. People come, people go. Some grow young, some grow cold. I woke up in between memory and a dream. So let's get to the point. Let's roll another joint. Let's head on down the road. There's somewhere I gotta go, and you don't know how it feels. You don't know how it feels to be me.
I had PT.
Every parent wants the safest and healthiest products for their family. That's why I created The Honest Company. I was just a concerned mom with a crazy dream. A wish that there was a company that I could rely on that did all of the hard work for me. I'm Jessica Alba, and The Honest Company was my dream.
LegalZoom has helped 1 million businesses successfully get started, including Jessica's. Launch your dream at LegalZoom today. Call us. We're here to help.
Confusion ever someone or have sudden you trouble had speaking, understanding?
Understanding trouble? Have you sudden have or speaking someone ever confusion?
Have you ever had sudden confusion, trouble speaking, or understanding someone?
It could be one of the 5 signs of stroke.
Sudden weakness or numbness of the face, arm, or leg.
Sudden trouble with vision in one or both eyes.
suddenly having trouble walking or difficulty with balance?
Or a sudden intense headache that comes out of nowhere.
If you or someone you know has any of these symptoms, don't wait. Call 911 immediately. You could make a difference in someone's life, someone you love, maybe even your own.
It's late until, wait, don't too. Don't wait until it's too late.
Time lost is brain lost.
Find out more at powertoendstroke.org. Brought to you by the American Heart Association, American Stroke Association, and the Ad Council.
Hey everybody, this is Sky. And when I want to know what's going on in the wonderful world of sports, I tune to Sports World Radio.
All right, welcome back to the final segment of Sports World Radio. We've been going for 2 hours strong. Final segment of the day. We got one more show to do tomorrow, and then don't forget about our NFL Real Talk on Saturday night, 9 p.m. East, 6 p.m. West, if you live in the Central.
Figure it out yourself.
All right, so before we went to break, I kind of teased everybody and said, my mom used to say something to me when I was younger, right?
Mm-hmm.
I can't wait to hear the story.
About Phil Jackson, correct?
Go on, I want to hear it.
This is what my mom used to say to me about Phil Jackson. My mom hated Phil Jackson when he played for the New York Knicks.
Whoa.
Hated.
Was she a Knicks fan like you?
She was a diehard Knicks fan.
But she
Hated
Phil Jackson.
Hated
and
Phil
Jackson contributed to 2 NBA championship teams.
Hated Phil Jackson, the way he played, because he was a skinny, lanky, long-haired, hippie freak with long freaking reach back then. If you ever see the pictures back then from him, you'll know
With the long curly hair, right?
The long curly hair with the thick mustache, the really skinny arms, the hairy armpits, the short shorts, a really long, lanky. He was always on the floor, always after every freaking ball on the floor. He was just one of those players that went after. I don't know why my mom hated him, couldn't stand him as a player.
Phil Jackson, didn't it look like he played with, and it doesn't matter if it was Madison Square Garden or if another arena, but didn't it look like to Phil Jackson it must have been 120 degrees?
Yeah, it looked like he was playing playground basketball, Phil Jackson.
And I love playground basketball.
Me too. But my mom used to say to me all the time, I hated you as a player, and I hate you as a coach.
Well, yeah, if she's talking about what happened in Chicago, how many times did the Bulls beat the Knicks in the playoffs?
My mom couldn't stand him when he played for the Knicks. My mom couldn't stand him when he coached for the Bulls or the Lakers or none of that stuff. She used to say that. Same thing about Barry Bonds' dad.
Bobby Bonds was...
She used to say, I didn't like...
Bobby Bonds, there was no middle ground. You know what Bobby Bonds used to do? He used to either hit homers or strike out. There was no middle ground with Bobby Bonds.
She used to say to Barry Bonds, to me about Barry Bonds all the time, I didn't like your father, and I don't like you.
Well, how can you not like Barry Bonds? Barry Bonds, say what you want.
My mom hated that kid.
Guy is arrogant. Well, you know where I'm going with this one.
Oh, I know. Don't get me started. So, yeah, I a lot of the sayings that I say come from my mother. Like... Right. If I had wheels, I'd be a trolley car. Or, like, if I had balls, I'd be your father.
I can't believe you're putting things into perspective that only I could never imagine.
My mom used to say things to me like that all the time.
Let me ask you, why do I get the fact that your mom was nothing more than a tough, no-nonsense individual that wasn't afraid to bring the belt out?
The last time she brought the belt out was the last time because I grabbed the belt in midair and said, that'll be enough, young lady. And that never happened again.
But your mom's tough, right?
Oh, yeah. Oh,
tough,
my mom was
fair.
Tough but fair. And I hate to tell you something. If my mom was alive today, Sean wouldn't be the co-host. I'd be the co-host and she'd be the host.
Wait, but you need somebody to do the updates. I mean, don't we title Sean the update man?
Yeah, he'd be the update man. That's about all he'd be doing.
Yeah, but but wait a minute.
She'd be running the show. She'd be the host. That's where I got all my sports knowledge, and the reason why I do what I do is because of her. When
okay,
she
let me ask you a question about her rooting interest as far as the New York teams.
Mm-hmm.
Giants or Jets?
She didn't watch football. She hated football.
What about baseball?
She was a Atlanta Braves fan.
Oh, did it have to do with cable television?
Yes, she was an Atlanta Braves fan. We even had her in her casket in her Atlanta Braves jacket and hat and garb and everything because that's what she wanted.
Wait, now, let me ask you, was it the Atlanta Braves apparel as of the last 25 plus years or one of those powder blue Dale Murphy era jerseys?
No, the blue Atlanta Braves jacket with the A hat on it and with the tomahawk and her middle finger up at everybody.
Josh goes, picture what
They
your
didn't do
mom.
the tomahawk chomp, did they?
Yeah, that back then, yeah. So we had a tomahawk in one hand, her hat on her head, her in her blue jacket with the white pants on, and her finger up, giving
Let me
everybody
ask
the
you,
finger.
she lived in New York all her life, correct?
Until we moved to California, yeah.
Oh, okay. Well, all right. So wait, in San Diego, then would she see the Braves when they came into San Diego?
Every time the Braves came in, we always went to all the games. So the Braves used to come in for a 3-game series. We went to all 3 games.
And remember, before the realignment of 3 divisions in 1994, it used to be 2 divisions, and the Braves and Padres were in the NL West together.
Correct.
Josh goes, picture what your mom would say about Skippy Bayless.
She would have.
Frank, here we go.
You think I'm tough on Skip? Oh my God. I you know what? I'm being kind of nice. If you think I'm tough on Skip, you ain't heard nothing. If she was here and she heard all that, forget about it. The curse words would be flying. You think I curse? You think I curse a lot? You think I curse a lot? Where do you think I learned it from?
Okay, let me ask you, what was the one curse word she used a lot of?
The F word.
Mm-hmm.
All the time.
Why do I have a feeling she used it more than most people?
She used it like it was born to be used.
Let me ask. All right, let me ask you this. Why do I have a feeling? I'm just picturing the type of person your mom was. Why do I have a feeling your mom would be driving, she'd be stuck in traffic, and she'd be like, "Let's move the F.
Yes.
Let's move the F out of here."
She'd be honking on the horn, and if the traffic wasn't moving, she'd get out of her car and find out what the hell's going on.
Or if somebody, or let me ask you this: what happens if somebody cut her off?
Why do you think I yell at the TV? Because she used to do it all the time.
Like mother, like son.
Yeah. She yells at, "You dumbass," cursing at the TV all the time. And she'd call a traveling call, and the referee wouldn't call it. She'd be all over the referee. "You blind bat." It used to be fun going to games with her. You know? You know what? When I was playing basketball for my high school, she used to come to the games, sit in the stands, and yell at the referee.
Wait a minute, hold on. She didn't use the F word at the referees.
You bet
did
your
she?
sweet ass, man. She's been thrown out of more games than I have.
Because I was going to ask, there is in pretty much every state's high school athletics manual.
Okay, now
the officials can throw
now there is
individuals out.
Now there is. Back in the 80s, there wasn't, dude. Back in the 80s, you can say whatever the hell you wanted.
Josh added, did she say rat bastard or would she rip Joey Crawford?
Yeah, she hated Joey Crawford. She hated Joey Crawford. She couldn't stand him. She couldn't stand him, that fat rat bastard. Hated him.
He's an aging one now.
He's 63 years old. He should not be refereeing.
Yeah, he can have a great. We talked about this Tuesday. He can have a great job in the NBA or with Turner Sports.
He probably would say, "No, I like making my millions of dollars. I'm an NBA referee. There's nothing anybody can do about it."
You know what, Joey Crawford? We'll give you the same pay. Get your fat ass off the court. Get your fat ass off the court and do some not analyzing, but do some critiquing and some judging. And what's the word I'm looking for? You know, not critiquing and judging, but you know, writing things down and analyzing and making sure the referees are doing what they're supposed to be doing. There's a certain word for it. I can't remember the freaking word. Thanks a lot. You guys are no freaking help whatsoever.
Hey, I have your back all the time. It's because of us during the commercial break. I made you remember this segment.
Yeah, I know. Thank you very much. And on that note, we're getting the flock out of here. Everybody enjoy the football game tonight. I'm watching the basketball game tonight. We'll be back tomorrow for another fun-filled 2 hours. Tomorrow's Rat Bastard of the Week. Tomorrow's NBA Drop-Off. We got a lot to do tomorrow, so join us early for that. Until then, my friends, remember, we only have one life to live. Live it long, live it strong, and live it proud. And please don't forget, life may suck, but the alternative is unacceptable.
Amen.
Peace out, everybody. We will see you tomorrow. For Sean Mann, Josh Lopez, Frank Sprankle, I'm Jeff Escal. This has been Sports World Radio. Adios, amigos.
Later and goodbye.
Stop, Bears.
Hey, boys, Stimpy. We sure had fun today, didn't we? So long, kids. Come on, Stimpy, say goodbye.
Where are we going?
The show's over.